So you're in the creative industry, but you're not promoting your content online, or you're not building a brand online, and thus you're not earning passive income. Why not? So this is surprisingly a very common scenario for creators online. So this generally stems from a fear, like a fear of failure or a fear of getting started, or even a fear of being successful online. Now, me personally, I used to have my own set of fears before I even got started. And these were fears that held me back from ever getting online and starting an online business, or even sharing content that I was making at the time with other people. The truth is that it does require a fair bit of effort in order to keep making content and uploading it online. But in fact, most people never get started, right? So just by getting started, you've already increased your odds of success, and it already puts you ahead of the other people that are still left at the start line thinking about getting started. Now, I can't speak for each of you and the different fears that you might face, but if you can find a way to overcome that and just get started, you just want to take really small steps to get started in the early part. And once you get going, you'll find that you'll pick up a lot of momentum as you're going along. As I mentioned, I was in this exact same position before I started my first YouTube channel, Flatpak Effects. And now a few short years later, it's grown to over 100,000 subscribers, and I've sold over 7,000 digital products. Now, I couldn't have done that if I let the fear get the better of me and I never got started. And that's even why I started this second channel, Upstart Creatives, where I can share my journey and my knowledge about how I've built my YouTube channel so that you too can learn how to turn your creative passions into passive income online. Now, when I speak to my students, one of the most common fears that I come across is the fact that they don't believe themselves to be experts in that field. And the reality is you don't have to be an expert. If you look at the creative industry, if you look at photographers, for instance, there must be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who want to be or work in that photography space, right? Now, you don't have to be that professional who's teaching to everyone. You can be, say, an advanced beginner who's just teaching other hobbyists or other beginners that are starting out. And there's enough of a market share that you can still carve out a name for yourself. Now, this is exactly what I did with my channel. When I started, I wasn't an expert. And even now, although my skills have grown a lot, I don't consider myself to be that expert. Now, this stuff requires a lot of work, and that in its own puts off a lot of people from either getting started or continuing to put the effort in to get those results. If you decide that you want to share your knowledge with other people online, YouTube is a great place to do that if it's, say, a video. One mistake I see a lot is that people will overcommit themselves to those platforms. So they'll want to upload a lot of content in a short period of time. The truth is, this is a very quick way that's going to lead to burnout. You want to come up with a schedule that's going to work best for you and that's going to keep you uploading content right into the future. And that's the key. It's not about what you're going to upload next week. It's what you're going to be uploading in a year or 2 years time, because you still want to be uploading that content. So if you burn out in the early days, you're obviously not going to continue to do that. People come to places like YouTube for 3 reasons: to be entertained, they want education, or they want emotional connection. Now, if you can hit 2 of these points, then you'll do really well. You watching this video right now is a great example of how this is working. You're here because you're already gaining value from the things that I'm saying, right? You're gaining value, so you're going to stick around and continue to watch this video. So the key to YouTube is to create content that delivers value in one of those 3 categories. It might take a year or 2 to build that audience, but you don't need 100,000 subscribers to make a living on this platform. You can do it with a lot less if you're delivering great value to them by then adding some sort of value through digital products, right? So this is where you can offer some sort of template download, or like I do, I offer a lot of courses to my students, and it's a great way for me to earn passive income online and again, grow that connection with them and that community aspect. The other thing to remember is that you need some way to monetize this, right? This is another thing that I see all the time. People just start uploading content, right? Especially on Instagram, they'll just be uploading content. but there's no call to action. There's no, product or something that they can monetize around that. So it's okay to upload content in the early days, but you want to try and think about what's something easy that you can implement, like a digital product, downloadable template, or a mini course, something that you can share with your audience and that they would be willing to pay a small fee for. And this leads into the fact that a lot of people just don't know the steps that they need to take in order to do that. So a lot of it is just trial and error, right? You're online just kind of trying different things and seeing what works and then doubling down on those things that work. For instance, I have a free mini workshop down in the description, and in that I go through all the steps on how to actually create a digital product, how to validate it, and then start selling it online. Because there are a lot of people who do end up getting started, but just end up giving up because they lack the knowledge, application, or the perseverance to keep going. And as someone who's personally done this in the past, perseverance will get you a really, really long way. So there's people online who will tell you this stuff is hard, and that the people who are telling you that it's easy are either lying to you or don't know what they're talking about. The truth is, this can be simple if you don't overcomplicate it, but it does require a lot of effort. There is absolutely no doubt that there is a lot of work that you need to do in order to keep uploading videos onto something like YouTube and then create a business and digital products around that. But most people overcomplicate this, right? By overcommitting the number of videos that they need to upload, or they overcomplicate the product and the business aspect of it, where they think they need to spend months building out products and building websites and complex sales funnels that are needed in order to sell products online. Now, you can do this if you keep it really simple. So creating a basic digital product, just like I talk about in my free mini workshop, there's a link down in the description below, I talk about this exact same principle. But keep your product really simple to something that you can make in a day. Now, if you think about a downloadable template, this is something that you can make in a day. Most people will then try and take that and then expand on and try and turn it into a month-long project. If you can do it in a day and you validated your audience, you will make sales. So you don't need 100,000 subscribers to make money. You can do this with a small audience, but you have to validate. Now, if you're not sure what that process is, again, I cover this in my free mini workshop. And if you watch through that, it'll explain all those steps for you laid out. Now, even if you have a small number of followers, yes, you're probably not going to be making $1 million right from the get-go. But if you can sell 1 or 2 products to a small group of people, then you know that this is going to work on a much larger scale. So as you grow, so will your sales. So hopefully I've got you thinking about maybe getting started on your own projects, starting something like a YouTube channel, or even building your first digital product out. The next step is for you to get out there, get started, and I can't wait to see what you create. Peace.